Hello, my name is Katie, a Montessori infant toddler teacher and registered early childhood educator. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to use the Montessori approach to build confidence while teaching. You're going to learn how to stop quizzing your child using a 2 or 3 period lesson. We often quiz children, especially young children, because we're so excited about all of the things that they are learning. I'm guilty of it too. What's this? What's that? What sound does this make? But if we were to put ourselves in a child's shoes, how does it feel to be quizzed all the time? Especially when they're really young, like when they're infants and toddlers and young preschoolers and they're learning so much about the world. Our role as adults is to provide them with that information, not so much quiz them to see how much knowledge that they have. So today I'm going to go over a 2 and 3 period lesson that is going to help you. It's going to guide you on how to introduce new vocabulary to your child in a way that really builds their confidence rather than making them feel like they're taking a test. Okay, so the first period of the 3 period lesson is naming the objects. The adult is naming the objects. So here you can see I have 3 different animals. So if I were working with a child, I would be sitting with them and I would say horse, horse. And I would give the child a chance to explore the horse. Same. Cow, cow. Giving them a chance to explore the cow. And then sheep, sheep. I'm looking at the camera, but obviously I would be looking at the child while I'm doing this. And what you'll notice is that I'm not saying, this is a horse. A horse says neigh. A horse lives on a farm. I'm simply giving them the word. You are naming the object. Horse. Now, children are sensorial explorers from birth to 6 years of age. They really want to feel and explore objects. So with the first period, we are naming the object and you're giving the child a chance to explore the object as well. So this is the longest period of the 3 different periods in the lesson because we are gathering new vocabulary. You can do this with anything that you have around the house. Anytime you're introducing a new object to the child, you are in that first period. You, the adult, are naming the object. All right, now for the second period. So the second period is all about recognizing the different objects. So we're still not asking the child to give us any words back. This is all done by the adult. We are recognizing the object. So if there was a child here, I would say, point to the horse, or show me the horse. And they would point to the horse. You can make a game out of it. Something that I would love to do in the classroom is I would say, pick up the cow and put it on your knee. So they'd pick up the cow and put it on their knee. Or you can be silly, put it on your head, put it on your shoulder, put it over here on the mat, put it behind your back. Make it fun. All you're trying to do in this second period is see if the child can recognize the name of the object. So, can you pick up the sheep? It can be as simple as that. And you're giving them time to explore, right? This is not an overly formal lesson. You're doing this at home. You're having fun. So if they want to start playing with the animals, that's totally okay too. But we're simply seeing if they can recognize the name of the object. So oftentimes in toddler classrooms, for example, we stop at the second period, because again, as I said, we're just simply enriching their vocabulary. We're seeing what kind of words, what the names of the objects that they recognize. We move on to the third period once we are confident that the child knows the name of the objects. So the third period isn't a quiz. It is once we have observed that somewhere in their play, the child has in fact named this the horse, named this the cow, and named this the sheep. So this is how we are building confidence. We go into the third period of the lesson once we are confident that the child knows the names of the different objects. So the third period of the 3-period lesson is remembering vocabulary. So this is when we do, in fact, ask the child, what is this? So I would sit with a child and I would say, what is this? And they would say, a horse. What is this? A cow. What is this? A sheep. And then you know that they have fully absorbed and retained that vocabulary, and you can move on to some new objects and introduce them to new vocabulary. So something that I love about Montessori is the idea that we teach by teaching, not by correcting. So let's say that you are doing a 3-period lesson with your child and you say to them, what is this? And they say, cow. Rather than saying, that's not a cow, that's a horse. What I would say is, this is a cow, this is a horse. So you're just pointing to the correct answer without them feeling like they have misspoken or misidentified the word or the object. It's a really gentle approach. We're teaching by teaching rather than correcting. So you're just giving them the correct answer. Something that I would do in the classroom as well as the children are learning is I would often point to the objects to kind of give them a little bit of a hint. And there's no harm in doing this because they are going to acquire all of this new vocabulary, right? They will learn the difference between a horse and a cow and a sheep and so on. So you just do what you think is going to be best for your child. You always want to set them up for success. Language skills are such a fun thing to develop for a child, right? They're learning to communicate. So remember to keep it fun for them. And like I said, you can do this with any sort of object, any sort of new vocabulary that you're introducing to your child. You can even do it with nomenclature cards. You can do it while you're sitting at the table and naming the different foods that you're eating, the different utensils that you're using. You can do it with articles of clothing. Make it fun and enrich your child's vocabulary while you are at it. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you are interested in bringing Montessori into your home, we do have a wonderful Montessori at Home program. There will be a link to join in the description below. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.